Hello and welcome to Jill Cameron Creations. Today we are going to look at creating a background with the tiny stamps. I love doing this. Now, when you get one of the Lawn Fawn's really great about this. They have generally like one larger image and then there's a bunch of little stuff that goes with it. And sometimes you don't really want to fiddle with coloring all of those images and die cutting them out, but you still want to include them because it goes really well with the theme of the card. So we're going to use the Lawn Fawn Loads of Fun stamp set, and I freehanded this, and I just used my stamping blocks, and I used Lawn Fawn Jet Black ink. We're not going to color the background, we're just going to color one main image and use really bold color on the card. So I pulled off all of the stamps and put them on my stamping block. So if you have a stamping block and you want to do this, put one on one side and then put one on the other. It's really simple. So the easiest way to start doing this is I line my paper up on the grid so that it's straight, and then I just eyeball it, and then I start over in the corner and I work my way out. And a lot of times you'll end up having, just because things don't fit well, and I wanted everything to be straight and lined up. I didn't want anything cattywampus, any of the stamps. So I ended up with some holes in my stuff in the pattern itself. Well, to do that, you use one of the even smaller images and fill in all the little holes. It's really simple. And I went through and did the entire background this way, and I swapped out a stamp there, and just go through and fill in your background. It's really super easy, especially with Lawn Fawn stamps and MFT stamps. Just the, oh, look at my head, it's still wet from where I got out of the shower. The one stamp that I went back and looked straight through where my head got in the way there, my main image is going to cover that particular thing up, so it didn't really matter that I went back over it anyway. So we are going to do some Copic coloring on the big main image, but the rest of the card we're going to keep really simple. And I used black, white, red, and like a sky blue tealy color, aqua looking color. So I fell in love with this card. I really did. And it was so much fun to do. I was very happy with how it turned out. Very happy with how it turned out. So if you want to do this, pull out some of your stamp sets that have smaller images in them and see what kind of background you can make from them. I think it's just a fabulous way to get more use out of the stamps that you already have. You can also, especially with Lawn Fawn and My Favorite Things, MFT, you can do multiple sets because they have lots of different sets that go together, especially Lawn Fawn. And you can tell I really like Lawn Fawn stamps. I like everything Lawn Fawn does. Everything they do is so super cute. Love it. But like the different lines in MFT, they also have stamp sets that can go together, and you can use the different small sizes of stamps from all of those stamp sets. So don't limit yourself to just one. And here I'm going through and adding the little bubbles to fill in the background in the different places. And don't forget, when you're doing a background like this and you're stamping it yourself, don't forget to stamp some of the images so they look like they're going off the page. That's really important to make it look like it is a patterned piece of paper, and it just lends authenticity to the background itself instead of looking forced, if that makes any sense. So I finished up that background, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp the big old washing machine, and we're going to do some Copic coloring on it. And I will have the Copic colors listed over on my blog in the product list, and I'll have a link to the product list below. But I also have what I used here, and I have really bad bleeding in my red on this. I was very frustrated. You can see it in the pictures, but it happens. It is what it is. I'm very real. Not every project is 100% 100% perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Actually, the washing machine's kind of warped in my final product, but you can't really see it in the pictures. But I am very, very real with y'all in that there is no way that I could find and be perfect about this. There's just no way anybody could be perfect about this. So, the colors that I'm using to color the inside of the washing machine circle is I'm using B01, B00, and B000. And I'm not doing any fancy color in here. I am just putting some darker color in on the on two sides where the lines are, which they probably should have been the highlight, but I didn't want to do it that way. And then filling it in the middle, and my B00 was kind of drying out. As you can see, it doesn't want to blend very well, but in the end it looks fine. Then I went through, I'm sorry, my phone keeps going off. I'm part of a co-worker group, and we get online and we work on our blogs together and do a phone call, Facebook video chat, and I'm getting notifications from that from people needing to get information about different things. Sorry about that. So, back to the card. I colored the rim of it with C0. What did I color that with? I think I did C00, C01, and C03 on the rim there. And then I added some red to the back around where the control knobs are. And they're R39, R29, R24. And see how it just instantly started running and bleeding? I'm not sure what in the world was up with my markers that day. It could have just been me, and I put too much color down. I don't know, but they just instantly ran everywhere. I tried to fix it, and it seemed to make it worse. So I just left it alone. I could have put some white pen over it, but I just decided to leave it alone. To give a little bit of shadow, I went underneath the washing machine and then off to the side, and I did this is C3 and C5. I just did two-tone and went under the instrument panel on there. And then for the knobs, I went C9, C5, C3. And I also colored in the little rectangular panel on the back with my B markers as well. And then I'm going to fussy cut this out. Yes, I'm going to fussy cut. The queen of I don't want to fussy cut. I am fussy cutting it out. So while I'm finishing up my card here, I'm in Virginia. Today is the 8th of March. And they're calling for more snow. I am I am a cold weather girl. I will tell you all day long I'm a cold weather girl. I might have even mentioned it in my last video that I am a cold weather girl. But I'm ready for spring, quite honestly. It rained like 75 days out of the last 100 days here. It has been a gloomy, gloomy, gloomy winter. So I am really, really ready for it to be bright and sunny and pretty and a little bit warmer, and for Chip and I to be able to go riding on the motorcycle and just take some sunshine in and be good, because this weather is getting ridiculous. And I have been cold all week. I have like I've mentioned before, my craft room is in my basement, and we don't really have like heat in the basement, but it is underground, so it does stay a little bit warmer than the rest of the house just naturally. But I have one of those infrared heaters in my basement that sits pretty much right next to me, and it's a pretty good size one, so it will heat the room up very, very nice. But it's been so cold that today's the warmest day that it has been in the basement, and it's 65 degrees in here. So it's still a little chilly. Me and the dog are downstairs all wrapped up in a blanket sitting in the chair. And I'm just, it's supposed to be 70 on Sunday though. So I'm very thankful for that. 70 on Sunday and snowing today. Go figure. So here's the image all finished, and I really, so I left this part in because I wanted to kind of let you see how it dries. And I'll zoom out here in just a second. And I went and I stamped the washing machine again, just so that the lines darken back up. But I was hoping as it dried that some of that red would fade out from where I quote fixed it with the colorless blender, but it didn't really fix it, and you can see it in the pictures, and it's fine. It is what it is. It's gonna be there. So I did fussy cut this out. When you do fussy cut something, you want to stay on the very outside edge of that black line. Hold your dominant hand that you have the scissors in as pretty steady as you can, and then turn everything with your other hand. I'm not real good for doing that, and my hand gets very, very tired after a while, which is why I don't fussy cut a whole lot, but I do enjoy the look of it, but I just don't like doing it. When you finish fussy cutting something, take a black marker and run around the edge of it on the cut edge. It finishes off the look of everything. Don't use a Copic marker because it will bleed. Don't use, you just want to like use a, I use a, I'm having trouble coming up with words today. They're just not coming up. I've been doing other stuff too much. My language skills is failing me today. I use a Zig marker that is pigment based. It's a very old marker, but it's pigment based, so it doesn't run, doesn't bleed into my image. And one way to do that, did I even do that on this? I did not. Oh my goodness, that's like Crafter 101. Don't do what I do what I say. I was so excited about getting this card together, I guess I forgot. But anyway, I put some foam adhesive on the back of this after I cut down my back panel. The bottom of it, for some reason, kind of buckled a little bit, and I'm not sure why, but it did. The bottom of the washing machine buckled. So now I'm going to go ahead and do my sentiment, and I'm just going to use block for this. Line up your, if you don't want to use your Misty for sentiments. I'm not good at sentiments in my Misty. They always come out crooked, so I just don't do it. I was going to do black, and then I was like, no, don't really like that. So I switched it to red. I decided to go with red. And white heat embossed on red cardstock with a red background, because I had that strip of red in the washing machine. Turns out amazing. So for me, it's a whole lot easier to use the grid line on my paper to make sure that it's straight, and then I can also use the grid on the block itself to make sure that it's straight and line everything up that way. It's just a whole lot easier for me than it is to put something in a Misty and do it that way. So just some random thoughts about that, and I'm going to trim these out with my Fiskars paper trimmer and adhere those flat down to the card. I'm also going to back the front panel there with the same red cardstock, and to give that a little bit more of a pop, and then I'm going to adhere it to a white 100-pound card base. Sorry I'm so random today. My mind is back over here doing other stuff and trying to get work done today and that kind of thing. But I did want to get this video out because it's a really fun technique to do, and I would love to see your cards and everything that you're creating. So don't forget to tag me in social media, just at JillCameronCreations.com, and I'll be able to see it. And it'll, all social media will ding and let you know that you've been tagged in something. So don't forget to tag me so I can see your creations as well. Head over to my blog and sign up for my newsletter. Also on March the 25th, I will have available over on my blog to sign up to receive my Copic Quick Start Guide. It'll have all the basic information you need to get started in Copic coloring and answer some questions you may have. And there's also a free mini course that will go along with that. As usual, anytime you have a question or you need help with anything, or you just want to shoot me an email and say, hey, email me at hello@JillCameronCreations.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel today and hit the little bell so you can get notified of every single video that I upload. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Yay!